after the yacht on which 5 friends were vacationing is sunk in a storm. Jennifer Reming finds herself stranded on a small tropical island. She discovers Brad, another survivor of the boat, with a huge piece of coral sticking out of his stomach. Jenny removes the coral, puts a piece of cloth over the wound to stop the bleeding, and heads into the jungle to find water. She breaks the coconut and returns to Brad to get him drunk, but finds that he has already passed away from blood loss. Upset, she takes the flare gun from his body and explores the island. Soon she finds items and pictures of the family that were already here. The most useful item turns out to be a box of matches 1/3 full. As darkness falls, a downpour begins, so Jenny spends the night in the jungle under the palm trees. Returning to the coast in the morning, the girl finds a large number of dead fish, among which she notices a small shark, whose body is torn by someone's huge claws. Next to her family's belongings, she discovers a grave. Jenny decides to dig a small hole and bury Brad's body, then cover it with palm leaves. In the evening, using the matches she finds, she builds a fire and cooks dead fish from the coast on it. In the morning, the girl is horrified to see Brad's empty grave, from which a trail of blood extends to the sea. Jenny realizes that this small island is home to a dangerous predator. Using a sharp stone, she makes herself a spear in hopes of defending herself. The next day, she spots some luggage from a sunken yacht near the shore and decides to swim to it. As she dives underwater, she discovers a huge hole at the bottom, which causes her inexplicable animal horror. In the night, Jenny hears the hum of a passing plane and fires a flare cartridge from her flare gun. But unfortunately, the pilot ignores the in the sky and continues his flight. When the flare cartridge falls into the water, Jenny sees the silhouette of a huge monster that looks like a 3-foot tall man. The girl runs into the jungle, falls into a thicket of grass, and freezes. She hears the sea monster's footsteps and loud breathing, but luckily, it doesn't find Jenny and returns to the water, and the girl realizes that the creature has dragged Brad's body away. In the morning, she tries to make a raft out of a plastic suitcase and a life jacket, but to no avail. Back on the island, she hides in a hollow tree, where she plans to stay until morning. The monster tries unsuccessfully to get her in the night and returns to the ocean. The next day, Jenny kills the shark with a homemade spear. The girl ties the shark to a tree branch and hides nearby in a small hole covered by palm leaves. Jenny wants to get up in the morning to find only a scrap of rope in the tree. On the 4th night, the mangled body of Zach, another fellow traveler from the yacht, arrives on the island. Jenny, overcoming disgust, ties his corpse to a tree branch where the shark was hanging. At night, the girl waits for the monster to come out of the water, rip Zach's body from the tree, and eat it right in front of her. Jenny sees that the tall and very strong physically. At this point, a plane flies over again, but Jenny can't use the flare gun because of the monster. The next day, the girl makes a hammock out of tarpaulin and hangs it as high off the ground as possible, hoping that the monster won't reach her. At night, however, the creature easily reaches for Jenny and tosses her from the hammock to the ground. The girl tries to flee along the shore, but the monster easily catches up to her, moving at great speed through the water. Jenny attacks the monster with her spear, but a powerful blow from the enraged creature throws her into the water. The wounded monster temporarily leaves her alone and withdraws into the ocean. The next morning, Jenny spots a life raft from their sunken yacht, containing her boyfriend Lucas and Mia, a friend of the dead Brad. Soon, all three make it to shore and happily embrace, confident that together they can survive. Jenny warns them of the danger of the monster on the island and suggests they leave. However, Lucas and Mia, believing that Jenny was hallucinating, refuse to leave. Jenny tells them about her failed attempts to save Brad, which causes Mia grief. Lucas and Mia are embarrassed and avert their eyes, and later Jenny discovers Lucas' penknife covered in blood when they think of Zach. She tries several times to convince them to leave the island, but they flatly refuse. Jenny decides to leave the island on a raft alone. However, 2 of the group notice her escape and try to stop her. During the struggle, Jenny strikes Mia in the head, and the latter, in a rage, knocks her opponent out with an oar. Jenny regains consciousness, tied to a tree. The 2 promise to release the captive once they are sure she won't try to escape again. Mia explains that they can't trust Jenny, since living in the city she has lied very often to those around her. Jenny tries to explain that this is now about their survival, but that doesn't convince Mia much. When Mia goes for a walk on the beach, Lucas lashes out at Jenny for trying to steal the raft and going to leave them to die on this island. Jenny asks to forget the past and begs to be set free. Before Lucas can answer, there are screams from Mia. Lucas seizes a flaming torch and rushes to the aid of the girl who has been attacked by the monster. He rushes at the monster, which easily tosses him aside. Jenny manages to free herself and runs to the shore, where she saw the monster attack and take Mia underwater. In the morning, Jenny finds Lucas, frightened and sitting in a tree, and explains to him that the monster does not appear on the island during the day. She convinces him to leave the island in a life raft. Using the last match, they build a fire and roast all the fish they have caught on it. While checking the raft, Jenny discovers that everything inside is covered in blood and realizes that Lucas and Mia killed Zach and threw him overboard. Despite this, Jenny and Lucas swim away from the shore toward the west, as planes flying over the island were headed there. They feel relatively safe on the water, but are suddenly attacked by a sea monster. The creature gets inside the raft with its sharp claws, and Lucas fires back at it with his signal gun. But the monster soon returns and drags Jenny underwater. The monster is a reptilian, shark, and human hybrid with tough skin and sharp claws. Jenny stabs it several times, essentially. The monster lets the girl out, at which point Lucas, who has come to the rescue, tries to attack it. However, the monster easily throws away the man's spear and drags Lucas to the depths, straight into his lair, while Jenny watches helplessly. She struggles to make it to shore. She struggles to get the nearly extinguished fire going. Jenny realizes that if she can't fight back against the sea monster, it will surely eat her. The first thing she does is write down her experience of confronting the monster in a journal. Then, she makes many stakes out of twigs and uses the sharp bones of her dead family as weapons. Jenny sets fire to a circle of grass and lures the monster into it. Although Jenny manages to hit the monster with her spear, it easily tosses her aside with one powerful blow. However, she gets up and stabs the monster several times with her bones and her knife. The heavily wounded creature continues to pursue the girl, but soon falls at her feet and freezes. Jenny carries the monster's head to the raft as proof of what happened on the island, which is engulfed in flames. That's all for today. Subscribe and like it if you want more videos like this.